Good afternoon from Okinawa, Japan, home of OkiSubies. Today, we're going to be re-merging this beautiful V-Limited RA STI. Probably going to sound like mumbo jumbo if you don't know how to merge your car, but it's a horrible way of doing it. You're pulling power from somewhere and they just said, let's do it this way. This is the FCON Pro, the piggyback harness. There's another unit for ABCS. It's just a nightmare. Out of all this stuff right here, we can reuse the ECU. I don't think I'm going to use any of this harness. We have another harness that we can use. It's just the GC harness. Just got to figure out what we're going to do with this because I don't really want to reuse that, but we'll figure it out.
Alright, so now that the engine is out and the harness, a little surprise for you guys, we're actually going to be painting the engine bay too. So while it's here at Yamashiro-san's place, Clink, he's going to be painting the whole engine bay to match the outside of the car. I'm not sure why Subaru does this, but they do a matte color on the engine base normally, and then the outside is gloss, right? So this customer, he wants to go, he's got a rotated turbo. He wants the thing to really pop out. So we're going to do an engine bay painting and remodel. He's got a lot of parts that's going to go on this thing too, that from Chase Bays and B-Brush and a few other companies, IAG, AIG. Anyway, so we're helping out Yamashiro-san. We have prepped the engine bay, pulled everything off the firewall. This brakes is the last thing to come out. The AC system has to be evacuated, and then we can pull the AC system out of it too. But yeah, so we just are trying to do a complete remodel of this car. So when you see it next, it'll be painted, and then you'll see it with the engine in it, and then you'll see it done. Doing burnouts.
All right, so we are back and have everything on this car dismantled. It's going to be coming apart a little bit more. We have decided to use Dylan's entire harness. We are going to be retiring the GF8, and the merge setup is going to be coming out. So we are going to use his harness. So what we're doing, this is actually a version 4. We have the entire dashboard out. I pulled all the seats out. We're going to town. Literally, this version 4 is going to have a version 5.6 entire engine body harness. The reason why we decided to do that was there's just a lot of different miscellaneous pieces like this right here. These 3 are for the DCCD little switch, and the DCCD unit was missing out of it, and we want this harness to be perfect. So we're going to replace the entire thing. So yeah, it's just time-wise, it works out really well. We're able to pull it out of Dylan's car, but we also had another V-Limited STI Type RA that unfortunately got in an accident, and that's what we used to pull it apart. So the front harness and the rear harness is all from the RA STI V-Limited, and then the merged harness is from Dylan's, which is from a version 5.6 Type R. So we have everything that we need. And we know it works, the fans and everything like that. Like I said before, the fans have an issue. They were turning on and not turning on. It's an expensive engine, expensive car, so we don't want any issues like that. So we're replacing everything for them. I just wanted to give you guys a quick tip real quick. I'm not sure who's going to actually need this information, but when you're looking at the actual main harness in itself, version 4 and 5.6 have the same dash, but the front harness is different. When it comes to the front harness portion goes into the door harness. So if you're doing something like this, a version 5.6 main harness, you also need to keep or change this harness that goes into the door that controls the mirror, the window, and the control switches. There's another portion that you have to replace with the main harness. However, the blue and white harness that goes towards the back, I didn't know this before. I've obviously changed everything out, which I wanted to do again because I know that the DCCD controller in this one works fine with the harness I'm going to be putting into it, but actually I could have just added those connectors and reinstalled the DCCD controller into this back harness, because I checked the connector that goes from here to here. This portion is the same from version 4 and version 5.6. So I'm pretty confident that this rear end is actually the same. So if you end up doing this for whatever reason, then I would consider just doing the front main harness and then the front 2 doors, and you should be able to swap everything over. We're doing it this way only because, again, we have the full harness already merged, and we want to do the entire harness for the whole car to make sure that everything is good wiring. This is out of Dylan's car, and we know that it works flawlessly, so, and it'll be a clean install for what the guy wants. So very exciting to see this fully put together. I don't know if we've ever had a car this dismantled to go this far into detail to make it look as good as it's going to look.
We're going to be installing the front harness, so this is what goes behind the dash and runs into the engine bay. It's got the engine management system, right, that's running into the engine bay. We have the Type R behind Kevin right now. That's also, we're mimicking where the harness goes.